I'm currently working at a Pixart as a quality engineering manager for about 4 years. And today I'm going you to talk about zombie bugs, how to detect zombies, how to kill zombies, and how to prevent bugs from becoming zombies for the future. And also, of course, I'm going to share our success story after having these all strategies after 1 year. So let's start. So why zombies? Uh, from the movies and fantasies, we know that zombies are the creatures that neither dead or alive, and there brings a lot of different problems to our life. Who are zombie bugs in our during our work? Any ideas? So, yeah. Mhm.
Causing some wide scope for regression.
Uh, uh,
Maybe because they are causing a wider scope for regression. That's why they are zombies. So affecting other modules.
Not in this case.
Okay.
Okay. So let's think about situation when you are working with task management tool and you are working on new features, and your task management tool is your backlog of task management tool has a lot of bugs, and new features are bringing even more bugs, and we are not allocating enough time to fixing all of them, right? And during time, the bugs which are standing in the backlogs are becoming zombies because we will not fix them and never. What kind of issues zombie bugs bring to us? First of all, zombies prevent you from noticing and fixing valid issues in time. Because when you have a backlog with zombie items, you will spend more time on reviewing your backlog and separating the bugs from the zombies. The second, the prioritization of the backlog tickets take longer time for the team. And of course, zombie bugs spoil your statistics. If you will create a dashboard with bug numbers, if you will have a lot of issues which are not valid anymore, it will not display the accurate statistics. Of course, all that affects on your quality. We had a similar situation in our company. The numbers displayed that our bugs amount become higher and higher over time. In that time when we started these processes, the number was a 4-digit number of the bugs in our backlog. So we need to apply some strategies to detect zombies and kill them. So first, we started from the cleanup process. And the second, we need to think about some preventing actions, because if you will do a cleanup process once, after some months, you will face the same problems again. So having preventing action is very important. So let's start from the cleanup process. But in our case, when there are working about 30 teams in a single project, it is very difficult to do a cleanup process alone. And team should work on the cleanup process as well, take the responsibility, take the ownership. So team up to clean up. All should work together. But before the cleanup process, we should be sure that every bug should have an owner. It is very important because if a bug is open and no one was assignee and no one takes the responsibility of that, it will stay in the backlog and will become zombies, and we should be sure that every bug should have an owner. For that, we are working with Jira task management tool. I guess most of you are working with it. And in Jira, there is possibility to separate tasks, separate bugs with components. It gives you opportunity to separate bugs with project, with teams. In our case, we separate the components with the teams. But when we reviewed our components, we found a lot of extra components. The extra components are the one, for example, there were a lot of common components. The component which was created for some project. After some time, the project was freezed, but the component still exists with a lot of number of bugs opened on it. And after time, all that bug will become zombies and will spoil your statistics. And also, we found a lot of zombie bug components as well. So first, we need to read from the extra components. Removing the components from the Jira, first we need to, before removing the components, we need to move the valid issues to the right components. And during the reviewing process, we found a lot of invalid tickets and bugs under the component, and we immediately closed them. And the rest bugs which were alive, we moved to the right components. And also in Jira, it is possible to set a component lead who will be responsible for all tickets under the component. In our case, the component lead is the engineering manager who is responsible for the development lifecycle. So if we will have valid components and we set component lead, we will be sure that each ticket has an owner and has a component under it. So detecting rest zombies. For detecting zombies which were opened on the valid components, we used Jira query language. By GQL, we searched the issues which stay in our backlog, which were opened, for example, 2 years ago, and no one take action, and the status was not changed after. So as you remember, how as much as the backlog bug is still exists in our backlog, after some time it will become zombie. So first we need to find the old issues. As you remember, in our case, the amount was a 4-digit number, and we found that the issues which were created 2 years ago and the status was not changed was about 8%. 1-year-old issues were 12%, and the total number of the issues which were created for more than 3 months was 60%. So there is a huge chance that we have zombie items, a lot of zombie bugs in our backlog. So we started from the group of 8 2-year-old issues. For boosting our reviewing process, we used automation for Jira tool, which is a very useful tool and give you opportunity to automate a lot of useful scenarios. In this case, we used automation for Jira tool. For it was triggered manually, and we comment under the all tickets on the mentioned GQL group for hey reviewer and assignee, if the ticket this ticket was created for about 1 day old, and you need to either close it if it is not valid anymore, either add a label reviewed. So the next time when we will run the automation script, it will be skipped and they will not be disturbed. Regarding notifications, first, when we started to notifying teams regarding their old issues and reviewing the issues, the productivity was very high, and a lot of zombie bugs were detected and closed. But no one liked notifications, right? We only like notifications from our family members, from our friends, or from I don't know, from bank regarding salary was transferred. So when the team get a lot of notifications that they need to review a lot of bugs, they are starting to ignoring them. So after time that we started to doing notifications, the productivity went slow. We started another strategy after that. We created dashboards and set up a meeting with the component leads that we already set. We set up, as you remember, we have already created groups with old issues for 2 years, 1 year, and we started to reviewing the old issues with the component leads and set up a meeting. We created a dashboard that displayed bug amount per component. We set up a bi-weekly meeting with the component leads and who will be responsible for the reviewing and closing the rest invalid bugs. And during the meeting, we pick a group and define the deadline when the group of the bug will be reviewed. And that help us to get rid of the rest potential zombie bugs. The meeting took place only 5 or 6 times, and after that, in our backlog there were only bugs which are alive. And during all this cleanup process, we found that about 30% of our bugs were zombies, and we cleaned our backlog from them. And that was a huge number. As a result, we will spend less time on detecting and fixing valid issues because zombies will not be there. We will have clean backlogs and boards for our teams. And of course, we will have more accurate statistics because all the issues are already valid. Of course, all that improved our quality metrics. Let's think about also preventing action plan, because if we will do cleanup process once, after some time we will do it, we have to do it repeatedly if we will not have any preventing action. And if we will, for example, do it cleanup process once in a year, it is very time consuming, and having preventing action is very important. In our case, in our pipeline, when the ticket should be merged to the destination branch, we have a lot of status checks, such as unit test coverage, code coverage, and others. And we add one more status check regarding the component limitation on each component bug limitation on each component. We took the numbers of the bugs which was opened on each component and set a threshold on each one. So, for example, if the team has 50 bugs on Android platform, after the next sprint, they should fix 10% of their bugs for being able to merge new features. Otherwise, they will be blocked, and they will get Slack notification that the branch can't be merged due to threshold of the actual bugs count was exceeded. Of course, for teams, there can be cases when the feature is much more important for that release, and the component bugs limitation should not block them. For example, a lot of cases, request can be from the product team that this feature is very important. We need to fix, merge it to the master or release branch, and we can't block it with the components bug limitation process. In that case, we have a specific approve button for quality engineering managers, and by approving the change, the components bug limitation status check will be skipped for that time only. As a result of having preventing action like components bug limitation, we found that bugs were reduced. As you can see from our statistics, we started the process 1 year ago when our number was there. We started the cleanup process. After we started to notifying teams regarding their potential zombie bugs. And after we applying the components bug limitation, we see that the number of bugs in our task management tool goes down. What the component bug limitation has common with zombie bugs? Let's think about situation when the team was blocked, when they need to merge the feature tasks, and they need to reduce the number of the bugs count. It is much more easy for them to not fix the issues because it will take much more time than reviewing the issues and found the invalid ones and only close it because they will spend less time on it. So after having the components bug limitation, the bugs amount was reduced, and nowadays everyone in the team is aware about every issue, and all issues are valid, because if they will add zombie bugs and will not follow up them, they will be blocked. Less user complaints. When we started to reduce our bugs amount, the very important key success metric is the users' feedback, user complaints, and we found that by reducing the bugs amount in our Jira, the number of user complaints split it by half. So we split the number of bugs in our Jira, and after a year, the number of complaints was splitted. So having preventive action like limitation of the teams on their bugs is helping also to our statistics regarding user complaints. Of course, all that process help us to have high quality. So I will suggest to keep calm and kill zombies. Thanks. If you have a question, you can ask it in Russian or in English. Yep.
Thank you for the presentation and sharing your experience on those zombie bugs. The question is the following. Have you done some root cause analysis for that situation? Why your company was in that situation? Why there were so many zombie defects?
Thanks for the question. So first I can say that the reason of having so many zombie bugs was that we had a lot of components without owners. For example, we had iOS core component and no one take the whole responsibility under it. And a lot of issues was created under that component and stayed there a lot of time. And there were also critical or blocker issues that were there for about 6 months. So first we need to be sure that every bug, every ticket is under a valid component and every component have owner. So in that case, we will not face the situation like us. Thanks.
Oh, thank you. About limitation of bugs for component, how you define that number? That okay? about 10 is okay or 15 is okay? How it works?
Okay, thanks for the question. First, when we started the limitation process, we took the current number of the components, and we set a limit to reduce the limitation after each sprint by 10%. But we need to do it until some number. In our case, we took the components by platforms. For example, monetization team platform is Android or platform is iOS, and for each team the number was set to 10. But it is very tricky part that the team can work on more features than the other teams. We are currently we are trying to think about having logic, having some logic regarding each team, having separate logic. But currently it is set to 10 for everyone, and we are trying to reduce the number. Thanks.
Thanks a lot for your presentation. I have one question. On your project, how do you assign the owner to bugs?
Mm-hmm.
For example, we have a small project, and while creating issues, automatically they are assigned to our manager. So, and because of lack of time, our manager is not able to deal with them. So how to do with it?
Thank you. In our case, quality engineering are working in agile teams, and each ticket which is being opened on under the component, the engineering manager is responsible for them. And also the QAs which are working in that agile team, they will take the responsibility. So by default, it is being assigned to the engineering manager, and but also the QAs are having also dashboard and are tracking their backlog of the bugs.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you for your presentation. Do you know a solution in case when new feature is always more important than bugs?
Sorry?
When new feature is always more important than bugs?
We also had a lot of cases like that, and especially in the beginning of having the limitation, and there is always war with quality and product, because product wants everything fast with quality, but we need to focus also on quality, and has limitation on them. So we are either getting cookies from the product team, either blocking them. So it is being we are discussing it with engineering manager, with product, and deciding should we reduce our bugs amount or not. Thanks.
Any other questions?
Спасибо за доклад. Подскажите, не привела ли вот эта ситуация с ограничением на количество багов к тому, что разработчики старались фиксить наибольшее количество багов, не обращая внимания на их критичность, лишь бы вот как бы преодолеть вот этот порог? И если да, то как вы с этим боролись?
Спасибо большое, but I will answer in English. So currently we have also another process for blocking teams, not only via the amount of the bugs, but also we are reviewing the severity of the bugs as well. So currently we are warning teams that they have critical or blocker issues on their team, and they need to also reduce that number. And after a month, we are going to add a logic of severity into our components limitation. And for example, if team has 20 bugs, some of them are critical, some of them are minors. Each severity will have an logically number. For example, severity bugs are 0.2, critical bugs are one number, and if the amount of the number was exceeded, they will be blocked. So first, I guess they will take the critical or major issues for not being blocked. Thank you.
Thank you, Karo. Nice. Now it's time to decide which question was the best.
Thank you. I guess the question regarding the logic of the components limitation. I don't know his name. No, his name. Thank you for your question.
Not looking to you.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for coming.